It certainly has the wow factor about it. First thoughts, it's like an apocalyptic munchkin land. Looks nothing like it originally would have done. But as I come into this courtyard right now, and you see this tower, if you've ever done the great movie ride in Orlando at Hollywood Studios, the first thing coming in your head now is ding dong, the witch is dead. That is incredible. Wow. Good afternoon guys, and welcome to today's vlog. Today brings me to a point in Hertfordshire, a place called Caldicot, something that's been on my radar for a good couple of weeks now. I have an urbex bucket list, the sort of places that I would like to adventure around on more of your abandoned theme park, castle, hospital perhaps, that sort of thing, not people's private property homes. But I've seen this place, sought it out. Joining me today is Adventures of Paul, and we are going to have a little bit of an explore. This fascinating place you can see behind me, it looks like an abandoned munchkin land from Wizard of Oz. So anyway guys, let's go and do this. This area here appears to be what would have been a central kind of pleasure garden. All the offices looking out onto this. Maybe at a fountain, fish in it possibly. But this place is seriously trashed. Here today with Adventures of Paul over there. Like and subscribe his channel. Still got the chimney stack. Okay, this is the stairwell, which you can get access to the roof and not much else. We'll go up there a bit later. I'll look in the belly of the site, so to speak. That was our entrance over there, over a simple bollard, and we are in. Here is your original wall plaque. It was built, it's the first brick laid 1927. I think it was fully operational as a dairy in 1928. One serious trashed bathroom. Still got the float bowl there. And now onto the graffiti. Wow. Don't know what it is, some sort of, it's not Donald, that's for sure. Looks like a German paraphernalia. Graffitied wall. Evil monkey over there, that's Family Guy. Absolutely love that show. Unfortunately, this was Vader, and someone's come in and stripped that panel off, done more destruction. Just show you. And even the Hulk. And previous vlogs I've seen from here, this was in a lot better condition. Totally trashed. And old Abe. Abe's Odd World. Anyone remember that? I think I first played that on a PS1 possibly. Couldn't get on with it because it's one of them games where you play for maybe 2 or 3 minutes and then you get a bubble, speech bubble comes up, and you have to try and work out from there what you're doing. So not quite an all action game. And then from there, everyone remembers Paul from the Simon Pegg movie. Come across an alien and go on a tour of America in an RV. But overall, someone done some seriously good artwork in here originally. And I suppose like anything else, it just gets trashed. Guessing that's more of a tag than anything else. I don't mind them, they're quite colourful, but it's just like a I was here type of thing. your artwork, your Vader, etc. That is brilliant. Imagine these metal filing cabinets withstood the fire, could even have been on the level above. Just left here, be kicked about. Trashed what looks like a kitchenette. There's still a staircase above it that's rusting away, so I wouldn't trust that. Your way of trusting things on here is pretty much maybe cement, but definitely concrete and stone, because you wouldn't think twice about walking around the ruins of an old castle. There's not much difference, to be honest with you. I have no clue what that would have been. A lot of people have been turning around and saying possible fireplace. It's got the floor as if it would have had a fireplace there. Maybe just a small one sat on it, and you've got the beam above. Pretty interesting. Now in what would have been the garden area, and it truly shows it to be a right state. I've got pictures in my pocket of what it did look like, and it's nothing like this. Without the thatch on top of it, gives it a totally different design. This is the sort of area I like. I've known a lot of people to come through here, and I liken it to something like Jeepers Creepers. All these vine creepers as you're coming down here. Really, really spooky. You see the sun never got to it because the moss has made the pillows go green. But this is incredible. Worth it just for this alone. There is a small manor house adjacent, if you look on Google Earth, with one of these, which shows you what they probably still look like today without all the damage. But it must have been pretty beautiful. Sorry about the flies, there's tons of them about. And this is one of the smaller outbuildings at the back. Jesus, that fire must have been intense. Look, taking the trees with it. They've survived obviously, but the bark on the outside is well and truly scorched. You couldn't even honestly tell that this was once a car park, to be honest with you. It's a right state. You said to see the chicken wire mesh over the top there, your thatch would have sat on that, so it would have had a totally different appearance. It's not a flat roof. The roof looks to be collapsing in places. And this is an area, after what I've seen, I liken it to backdraft. Totally burnt out shell. So obviously if you are coming in here, don't touch anything, because when things burn they give off a dangerous residue. It would have been a toilet facility. As with that, still got a sink. Hard to tell where the ignition point was, but that is seriously, must have had some heat in here. It's bent beams, everything is cinder. The concrete slabs there. Whole first aid cabinet. How did that survive? It's wood, it should have gone up. He didn't try hard enough, whoever done it. And then walls even cracked through the heat. And the ceiling has its own air conditioning. Do you think there's melted light fixtures? These would have been possibly large bulbs. They just melted. seen more comfortable chairs than that, that's for sure. I think you're a bit late there, guys. I think the fire has already been and gone. No point touching that door. I've seen a lot of vloggers look at this. Is that some sort of franking machine? Or a large industrial hole punch? I'm not sure. Or is it something that adds numbers to something? You pump round, you go round and the numbers turn. Haven't got a clue, to be honest with you. Old Bosch fridge or freezer. Certainly would not have kept things cool in the temperature that hit this place. Look at that. The sink is still left standing. There is no point, but I've got to do it anyway. I've got to turn the tap, if it will. No, they're seized. Another melted light fixture. Didn't take the elements inside though. Nothing more inviting than a skull. Obviously I can hear people out on dirt bikes. Something maybe out in the fielded area at the back. Bet at one point this was a beautiful pond, and now it's just a dumping ground. There's seats, fire extinguishers, clock faces, all sorts hidden beneath the surface. More signs of the intensity of the fire that took hold on, I guess this would be the left wing. This was burnt in 2019. The right wing was burnt in 2015. Basically the story about that is, I don't know whether the guy had some beef or an argument with the owner of maybe a car, maybe had no intention at all of this place burning, but he torched the car, the embers took the roof, and that side you can see in front of me there, it took all of that. He got over 3 years imprisonment for the damage of 3.5 million plus. At the time, don't know about now, but this was the largest thatched roof building, not only in Hertfordshire where we are, this is a place called Caldicott, but in the whole of the United Kingdom. And now all we have is this shelter, or shell should we say, with just that tower there left with any thatch on it. You can get access to it. There is a ladder that goes up the back. You have to make your way through a small vent, get on the ladder up to the top there, and you're on the veranda. But I certainly won't be doing it, and I don't think Paul will either. That is the place in all its glory before 2015, and the events of that July night 2015 that took that wing. I believe it's something in the region of 40 plus firefighters turned up to tackle it. The other wing was saved for the time being, but then, as I said, people got in, trashed the place, torched that side, and now all we have is the remains. I could, but I won't trust a steel staircase because of the rust factor. You can see they're heavily rusted. It probably would take me weight comfortably, but I don't see the point of risking it. I'd rather go for the concrete steps around the other side. So this was built, I believe, well, I've seen the plaque at the front that says 1927, so it's between then and 1928 because that was the first brick that was laid. It was supposed to be a dairy that depicts the traditions and the old ways of doing it. It was an American guy, American businessman that it was purchased for, and I believe it was a dairy all the way up till 1972, so that is a year after I was born, making it 51 years ago that it stopped. Then it was split up and various companies coming here had them as office units, and then obviously the incidents with the the firebombing of the car, which led to the arson attacks over that we speak, that burnt out the left wing. Then again in 2019, the one that burnt out the other wing, and we're left with this. But it's unique. If you get the chance, guys, then you can come here in uninterrupted. It's fascinating to walk around to see this place, but just see the damage of what the fire's done. Some of the graffiti is fantastic, and just the decay. It's one of them things that I'm interested in. I'm not a full-on urbexer, as you say. I have a bucket list, and this was definitely one of the ones on it. That truly is a weird sight. All these beams here make it look as if there's some sort of benches in an auditorium, a theatre, etc. They're not, they're just beams, but it just gives off that illusion. And I believe that would have been a fireplace over there. Okay, access to that point there. Not that I'm going to try it. This gives off a false impression of a way up. So you have the staircase here, which obviously will follow up. We'll have to go up this way in a bit anyway to get to the roof. It says it is concrete, so pretty sturdy. But this leads you to the level. There would have been offices at the top here, but you cannot go any further. It ends here, and the roof is right up there. So the ladder is adjacent down the bottom. That's a lovely view. Nice little drop. Not quite spiral, but intriguing all the same. So, how do we gain access? As I said, not that we're going to. I'm far too old, far too big to even attempt it. It's probably covered in some sort of grease paint to stop people. I know they have managed it. But here, there would have been a ladder. And the idea is, that ladder went to here on this wall. You got up in through this little gap here, and there was your ladder going all the way to the top. I know a lot of urbexers that have managed it. I wouldn't even get through that gap. But that's a heck of a climb, and a heck of a lot of damage to yourself if you make one false move. The perils of urbex. I kind of know these characters. I'm not sure from what. Anyone got any ideas? Leave comments below. There's something Nickelodeon, I'm sure of that much. And Boris has a tiny willy apparently. Now don't quote me on this, I could be totally wrong, barking up the wrong tree, etc. But I believe the way this banks round, you would have had cows in a row round with feeding troughs and probably the pumps where they would have been milked, because this actual place is an old milking dairy before it was sold off and turned into the offices that then went on to be burnt out. We've been lucky today. We've been left to our devices by ourselves, no interruptions. No one's taken a blind bit of notice. He says that, and probably security or someone to turn up. Oh, Batman's been here. So why is this my kind of urbex? Basically, I don't do modern properties, so to speak. I've got no interest in going in a property where there's been some sort of accident, incident. The family have had to leave their possessions behind. You might have had a child with its toys, and you see them and you present it on a video, and that child might grow up to watch YouTube and say, they were my toys. And there's something about it. It's not, that's why I stick predominantly to ruins. I class this as a ruin. It's gutted, there's nothing here. so I feel safe in the fact that I'm not going to intrude on something extremely personal. So my reason for these sort of adventures are, I mean, the group, obviously my page is called Rob with Scooby and Scooby. I was explaining to someone the other day at work, and it comes about that my bucket list is like an abandoned theme park, and this has that element with the tower making it like a abandoned derelict munchkin land, which just had that little bit of appeal to me. It's me with Scooby-Doo and the gang back in the days going into a haunted mansion, a theme park, etc., unmasking the villain, but that's where it was set. You don't get that with a normal property. It has to be something like this. It's hard, some people will understand, some won't, but I'm having fun anyway. Someone has actually come in and done what I would say reverse vandalism. These floorboards were all stacked up, and someone's come in and put them together like a jigsaw puzzle. Obviously how safe that makes them to walk on, I don't know, but it feels okay for now, he says. You have to watch a lot of these cables that are hanging around. They snag up on your trouser leg. There's another way up, again, metal. That looks in good nick, but I'm not going to trust it. More burnt out. And here's your electrics. All been capped, ripped out. Remember guys, beware of Goat Man, because he is the greatest of all time. Bit of Robson and Jerome time up on the roof. Make my way gingerly round. Said this is pretty solid concrete, and that beam, that bend on that, that's what they should be like. Is that someone who's been hanging on it, or is that extreme heat? I'm not going up there, that's for sure. Loving the fact that we've pretty much just been left alone. Yeah, I don't really fancy that at all, to be honest with you. Your trick is to find a way across. You certainly wouldn't be able to jump. Entrance over to that side, and there's your courtyard. You've just got the chimney stack this side, car park below. See drains. Who would want to go and have a look in a drain? You've missed out on this one, AP, that's for sure. We've had a fantastic adventure, but there will be another one coming up August bank holiday. Well, hopefully you can join us, and we're going to go and do a previous Cold War nuclear missile site. Said there's nothing stopping you guys getting in. That will be your rear barrier. Your front barrier is just one of them concrete bollards. Look at that, there's even some tiles left. That's your concrete bollard at the front there. Don't think I fancy going down this rickety old wooden steps. I'll certainly get a photo snap of them though. Remnants of an old fireplace, and then this roof bit here is a tad sketchy. You can see that it used to be office, because there's no way someone would have made any effort to carry these steel filing cabinets upstairs. They would have been here. This would have been office space up here. I believe a lot of the chairs that you find in the pond area, etc. Door locked down there. I don't think I'll go any much further than this, because there are parts of the roof that have collapsed, and this is about presenting it, not presenting an issue to the emergency services. Christ, that thing's worse than that. Actually, I think that's been turned like that. I think it might be. People have turned around and said it might have been the heat. That one there is bent in such a way. The one on the other side is also bent in such a way. Let's pull down there, wave pull. I think that was the structure of the property. So maybe that's the way they made it, so it would sit, so you would get the fascinating shape of the thatch. Anyhow, let's get off the roof. Anyway guys, that is going to be it for today's little adventure. Thank you very much for Adventures of Paul for joining us. Yep. Have you had a great time?
Oh yes.
It has been a spectacular sight.
Blown away.
Yeah, I never expected it to be like this at all. I thought we'd get there maybe for 5 minutes and be turfed off, but we haven't. We've been left to our own devices. I think you can say the same as me. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Definitely an urbex out there to check out if you live in the Hertfordshire area, even Bedfordshire, Buckinghamshire. This is a place called Caldicott. We parked up at a garden centre and come in via that, so we didn't leave the car out the front, so we could be a bit more discreet. Yeah. The idea is to come in, not cause any damage, video, photo, just leave maybe a footprint and then be on our way. So with that guys, thank you very much for watching. Check out Paul's channel, it is a good channel. Yeah. Give him a like and a subscribe. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the movies. Bye for now.
Bye for now. Bye for now.